Morning. Are you coming in then? Hello and happy Christmas, one and all! And what a show we've got lined up for today. Today is a cracker, it really is. We'll be enjoying a stunning dish of chicken from a great friend and chef, Lise Goodwin-Allen will be here. We'll be tucking into rum barbars from the brilliant baker, Richard Bertinet will be here as well. And listen to this, actor Luke Evans will be here, swapping the Hollywood Hills for the Hampshire kitchen. And I'll be treating singing superstar Craig David will be here as well. I told you it was a good one, and don't miss today's little masterclass. We're teaching you some recipes for choux pastry that you'll definitely want to try over the festive season. And that's not all, because coming up on the show, a special part of Christmas Day, we're about to create an amazing dish with two of my favourite ingredients for my favourite people in the world. So put your hands together for the brilliant Lorraine Kelly and Marti, Pellow!
Merry Christmas!
Happy Christmas! Happy Christmas!
Oh,
Happy Christmas, pal!
So
Happy
good
Christmas!
To see
have
you.
a seat, have a seat, have a seat. What great to have you on the show, I have to say.
So excited.
So, talking about two of my favourite people, two of my favourite ingredients, I thought, and I'm wearing this as a lot of homage to both of you,
Thank
you see,
you
over here.
Very nice.
We've got langoustines and we've got monkfish. Monkfish from the Orkney Isles.
Oh, my favourite place in the world.
It is a glorious place in the world, isn't it, really?
gosh.
So I'm going to create a wonderful little dish, this. We're going to create a lovely little sauce with it. I'm going to roast off the monkfish. It's a dish that you can do. It's done in 8 to 10 minutes. It's nice and simple. So we've got some... just running through this, we've got beautiful monkfish. This is the glorious monkfish from that part of the world. You can tell it's so good because this, I mean, the small ones are about this big. Yeah. The big ones are just about the size of this table. They're amazing. And we're going to simply roast that off with some butter, some garlic and some thyme. I'm going to make a glorious little sauce with this as well. So first of all, how are you this Christmas? Are you just finished your Monster tour, about to go touring again.
About to go touring again.
Yeah.
What a year it's been for us. You know,
It has
just
been an amazing year.
absolutely incredible.
Do you still sort of pinch yourself after all these years?
All the time. And to be constantly, you know, having that childlike enthusiasm for what I do. Long may it last. I just enjoy it.
But that'll never go away with you, because he's always just so excited and enthusiastic about everything. I love it.
Especially this produce. This is Scotland has no more...
finest.
The best.
It's the best. This is some of the best produce around. It really. I know I put a lot of the, but I just want to show you this. Look at this.
Size of it.
Look at that
Wow.
thing. They say never eat anything bigger than your head. This is an exception. This is the exception.
This is an exception.
That is beautiful. So we've got our lovely little monkfish. I'm going to pop this in here. We're going to roast it off with some salt and pepper. This is going to get roasted off once about sort of 8 minutes in the oven, something like that. Nice and hot. A little bit of garlic, a little bit of thyme. That's going to go in there as well. Now, this is the reason why I wanted you on the show, and the reason why I want you on the show today as well, because you guys did something amazing last time you were on. You met, and you went away, then you nicked this gentleman on your show the following day. I switched on the TV, I went, Lorraine, you nicked a guest of mine.
I did. And it's so wonderful to be here, because it's like completing a circle, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed.
We had a wee chat about, well, Love is All Around.
Yes.
Because 30-year anniversary, you wanted to do something special, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted it to have another destination. You know, I've received so much for the song. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to tie it up with Lorraine's Change and Check charity? And then we reached out to Helen, the wonderful Helen Addison, one of your producers, and said, could we do Love Is All Around for the Change and Check choir and give the song another destination?
Because you were just about to go on a tour, celebrating, what, 30 years of the album, that kind of stuff.
Popped in, sold out.
Yeah, but you were interesting, because a lot of people, when they tour, they sort of hand cherry select the songs throughout their career.
Yeah.
You decided to play the entire album from start to finish. It was that good.
In that order.
Well, it was that, you know, that in the exact order it was recorded in. Because I've always wanted to do that, to see how it would, you know, because I'd never done it before. And to do it with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra as well. And
Very grown up, Marti.
oh, what it
It's
was.
very posh.
Very posh. But it was just an incredible experience
amazing.
for me. And
Amazing.
that's why I still continue to love what I do, is because even at this stage of my career, I'm still getting little wins like that and trying different things.
No, it's great.
But did you ever imagine it would be still doing what it's... I mean, because back in the 80s, I remember 1990s, I remember you switched on every single radio. I remember driving in a Vauxhall Nova, and this is a true story, man. I remember pulling at a petrol station, and I filled up my car. I didn't really fill it. I only had £5.
Okay.
Because I had no money. I was like, I'm a teenager, and I'm listening to your music. I'm thinking, I'm the coolest child.
Oh, yeah.
This Ferrari pulled in.
Yeah.
Him.
No.
Genuinely him. Gets out of the car like this. I want to be him. I want to be him.
So that was it.
This
You were
is
the
it.
star.
It's
You were the
60.
star.
I want to be you, my friend.
It's absolutely the
my
truth.
God,
We're at the
that's
same petrol
brilliant.
station. I went, that's my little claim to fame.
Fantastic.
I've got another one with Craig David in later on, which I'll explain, which is very funny. So we've got our stock in here. So I've made this stock. This is all the bits and pieces that we have left over from the Longestines. And what we want to do is reduce this stock down in an extremely hot pan, as you can see. So this has got, just running through our stock ingredients, this is where this punch of this dish comes from. So we've got our stock, which is peppers, tomatoes, onions. I'm going to put all this lot in anyway while we're chatting. In with the Longestines, in everything. You cook it for about an hour.
Right.
It's just the most amazing stock. But you can take the peppers. You don't have to be too fancy with it. Throw them in.
I can
Throw the
cooking.
tomatoes in. You can just throw the onion in. Done. In goes the saffron, like that. In we go with I use pink peppercorns for this, because this is where a lot of the flavour is. It's really technical, this. In goes the stock. In goes the water, some fennel. Then you cook this down, and you end up with this amazing stock. And I'm going to reduce that down. While it's reducing, I'm going to add a touch of brandy to burn it off, just a little bit. Some soy sauce. This is going to reduce down, and a little bit of honey. This is going to be made to make an amazing little sauce at the end of it, which is delicious. Now, I know you love your Longestines. Scampi. This is the best scampi you'll ever taste, all right?
Okay.
So what we do with this, we take cider, gluten-free flour, a good pinch of salt. This is how people cook at home. Chef's pinch.
Boom.
A handful of, tons of salt. And then you take the cider and you mix the gluten-free flour and the cider together. So, Lorraine, who does the Christmas cooking on Christmas Day, then? Is it suddenly you just take over and go, this is it? Or is it...
No, I don't do... I tidy up. I'm really good at tidying up. I'm good at tidying up. But Steve, my husband Steve, and my daughter Rosie do all the cooking. And then I tidy up.
And what do you expect from Santa this Christmas, then?
I don't mind. See, this year, because I've become a granny, I might have mentioned it to you, Marti.
Yes, you did in passing. In passing.
I may have shown everybody 100 photographs. But that's
Four times you mentioned it in about 5 minutes.
I know,
Anyway.
but that's my Christmas. She's my Christmas
There you go.
present. She's the best Christmas present ever, so I'm so looking forward to that. Just the family being together later on today.
2024 has been really special for you.
Oh my
hasn't it?
goodness, it's been amazing. I mean, that's been the most amazing thing. But also working with this man, and we got to number one.
Number
You know,
one with
for-
the song.
for-
Wait a minute,
with the
I want to
song.
talk about you for a minute. We're gonna get you a clip of that in a minute.
But I'm so excited about
I
it.
want to
because it's
talk about
amazing.
the BAFTA you failed to mention.
Yeah.
I mean, BAFTA, the special BAFTA.
That was a bit scary, but lovely, but quite daunting.
Please tell me you keep the BAFTA in the loo.
I do, so that people can then take it and take a selfie.
Light,
Yeah,
lovely.
if they want to. They don't need to. I mean, it's not obligatory, but I think it's quite a good.
You have to go around to a Lorraine's house and have a BAFTA selfie in the toilet.
Definitely.
Is that moment?
Definitely.
So tell me about this song then, and particularly the charity which you chose then, because this is...
Sure. It's a charity that we've been going for the past 5 years, and because our producer Helen had breast cancer herself and she just wanted to spread awareness of it. So we did this brilliant campaign, and then the choir is made up of women who found out that there was something wrong, went to the doctors, and they're okay, or they're living with cancer, or they're doing well. So it all kind of worked in with this song. And then it was actually a really emotional day and a lovely day. It was just
Well,
really
we're gonna play a little
uplifting.
clip of it now, but we've done something really special.
Go on then.
We've taken Marti's vocals out of it and the choir and just put yours in it.
Isolated.
No, we haven't.
Don't-
I'm joking.
no, please, nobody. Oh my God, dogs will be throwing themselves off high buildings. No,
This
This
is
is the real one.
Lorraine and guests in action. Enjoy this one.
Everywhere I go, yeah. Ooh, yeah. So if you really love me, come on and let it show. Come on and let it, come on and let it, come on and let
Wow.
It's special, no?
Oh, it really... Who would have thought? I mean, at my age, for goodness sake, having a #1 single, thanks to this man.
You mentioned who'd have thought it. We're just over 300 episodes we've just done. Who'd have thought this? But who'd have thought, 40 years ago,
don't.
you've been both in the business such a long time.
I know.
What do you put it down to? What's...
I don't know. I think it's like
particularly music comes and goes quite...
It does, but it's like what you've got. It's the enthusiasm, the passion. We're very lucky to do something that we love. We just love it, and it's.
And
great
every day's
fun.
a school day in your profession. Every day's a school day, and it's with songwriting, it's with cooking, it's with presenting, it's all those things. It's about learning and experience.
Same as you. You love what you do. You just love it, especially today.
I've been winging it for this many years.
You say that. You say that.
No, you're so good.
Well, I am, because this sauce is sort of it's a recipe in motion, shall we say?
Right.
I'm kind of making this up as we go along, but this is the reduction sauce. So I've taken the liquor from the langoustines over here, which I've got there. Then I've basically added some brandy, some soy, some honey.
Right.
So you've got the sweetness and everything else. I've got some little bit of lemon gel to finish it all off there. And you finish it off with butter. Now, interestingly enough, you didn't notice that. While you were watching that, I just put the other half of the butter in this sauce.
You like butter.
Which is unbelievable when you take this.
You need it. I love it.
But yeah, you've got the little sweetness with the honey, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
That's that one, the pink peppercorns. And then in the oven is this beautiful bit of roast monkfish, which I'll take off in a minute. Now, interestingly enough, with these langoustines, with these, I'll just show you, because this I don't normally do this to guests. Because it's Christmas Day, you can have one of these. We're just going to take this, and I just want to get you to taste this. So this is a little bit of the... We take lemon and blend it with agar, which is like a seaweed. And it makes this gel. But this batter is unreal.
Thank you. I love
this.
This
is called a little amuse-bouche.
Cheers.
To start with.
That is so good. That is so...
James, that's
That is so good.
Look at
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And you can take this batter, look, because you can make massive bread. Well, we can do these... I don't know what you do you call them in Scotland? Scraps?
Aye.
Yeah, scraps. Yeah, scraps. We can deep fry them, but they're amazing, aren't they? When you taste it like that, they're absolutely delicious.
Oh my God,
that's beautiful.
This is the beautiful
lemon.
This is the beautiful bit of monkfish as well.
Oh jeez.
Which I've just simply roasted as it is, and we just leave that to one side, and then I can take this off like that. We just allow that to sit and rest. Meanwhile, that's done its job. The sauce has reduced down. There we go. This is usually like Christmas at my house. There's carnage everywhere, but look.
Great.
Then we can then plate this up. I've got my fancy plates out because Lorraine's here, you see. These are my fancy plates. We take our nice little sauce, and we can start to assemble this up, which we then going to pop this sauce on here. So, nice little bit of this beautiful little...
That looks so lovely.
That looks
It's so beautiful. 2 Christmas dinners today. We've got to go home and eat our Christmas dinner. Well, it doesn't matter.
Belly busters.
But look, we're going to take our lovely bit of monkfish like this, and take a nice piece like that, and then we're going to grab our lovely langoustine.
We're getting more of that, Marti.
More of the lingies.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you take some of this, which are a nice little bit. This is just this little bit of lemon that gives it a little kick with it as well. And then we've got these forage sea herbs. These are amazing. Just want to taste these. Just taste a little bit of that. You taste the leaf off these.
What is this one?
This is called salty fingers, this one.
Oh, that's really nice.
Sea aster. This one's salty, but I think they're really...
That's the seaside there.
Yeah.
It's the seaside and you're...
You taste that one.
It's the seaside.
What's the seaside?
It's the seaside.
Well, it's a good job, because they are from the seaside.
Oh, that's the shows.
We'll need to go foraging.
Foraging, yes.
So there we have it.
Foraging.
My first dish for the Christmas show. My roast monkfish, crispy fried langoustine with a nice little pink peppercorn sauce. Done.
Oh, come on.
Well, there we have it. Happy Christmas, guys.
Oh, there you go. I was going to take yours as well. I'll take both of them.
James, thank you very much.
This is
It's a
so
pleasure.
lovely.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very much for an exceptional plate of food.
Isn't it beautiful?
Hopefully you like it, because you're going to be singing for us later as well, so...
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
That's why I come down the house. How about you feed me, I'll sing for you.
supper.
Oh, you betcha. Oh, gosh.
Superb, balanced, deep sauce. Incredible.
I have no words.
That's a good little start of that. Now, there's still loads more to come from both of my guests, Lorraine and Marti, throughout the show, and I'll be cooking for the one and only Craig David in just a bit. You're enjoying that, aren't you?
It's so good.
You're enjoying that,
I'm so
but don't
happy.
go anywhere, because after the break, the brilliant Lisa Goodwin-Allen will be here, creating an amazing dish out of roast chicken, and I'll be joined rum barbars from the genius baker, Mr. Richard Bertinet. But before you go, check out this in the fryer. Look at these big scraps coming your way. See you in a minute.
Oh, scraps! Get the scraps over here.
Welcome back. Now I'll be cooking for the legend that is Craig David very shortly, and I'll also be treating actor and singer Luke Evans to a stunning plate of cod and seafood a little bit later as well. But before all that, it's time for more food. And for that, I'm going to need the help of a couple of friends this Christmas who are just quite handy in the kitchen. So please put your hand together. Give a huge round of applause to Chef Lise Goodwin-Allen. And bringing the taste of France down here to Hampshire, it's the brilliant baker, Mr. Richard Bertinet.
Thank you.
We've never done that walk-on part. That was obviously in your riders, was it, for this
Absolutely.
Christmas? Yeah. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So, what are we going to be doing then? What's this? This I'm intrigued about. This I love this.
Well, classic French. I mean, I remember growing up, rum baba was classic. My grandmother always used to say, I don't drink, but she had 2 rum baba, you know, with a lot of rum on top.
Yeah.
So it's very, very old classic.
Is it classically for Christmas? I mean, that's obviously all year round, but
every
it's...
Sunday, really. I mean, every Sunday. So I do a twist to do one for Christmas. Instead of Christmas pudding,
Okay.
it's a much lighter version, not on the rum, but on a...
Which we got over there. We'll explain in a minute. So, what
later.
about the mixture then? Because the mixture is...
So the classic rum baba is made with what we call a ferment. So we mix a mixture of warm milk, flour, strong white flour, a bit of fresh yeast. You can use dried yeast, of course, if you want to.
Okay.
You mix it together, roughly, and you leave it for at least 2 hours, if you can, OK? Overnight, if it's not warm enough. And you end up with that mix in here, which is beautiful. You can see the stretchiness into this. Look at this.
Of it.
And that's give you the
Bakers always have a little pastry card in the back pocket. But...
OK, so this
Right.
in here. And that will be the base for your dough. So the dough takes about 15-20 minutes to make. And you end up with that.
So your idea, you've got to mix it for long enough.
Yes, and not being scared to use that mixer. Use a paddle, and you end up with that beautiful stretchy mixture in here. Can you see that?
Ah, yeah.
Right.
It's beautiful. So a bit like choux pastry, but stronger. And then you put this in a piping bag like so,
Yeah.
and then you pipe it into little molds. So in here we've got the traditional, you can have the little Savarin molds,
Yeah.
with a little hole in the middle. That's a classic baba mold. They're beautiful. So we butter them, melt some butter, fill them up with butter, empty to the other one so they're well buttered.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pipe this mixture inside.
I need my glasses on for this one, because
Yeah.
this is...
That's a 2-man job, so I'm going to pipe a little bit. Come on, James.
You tell me when.
Yeah, cut in here. That's good.
There you
So
go.
two-third up. Do this.
And you just all the way 2/3, because you want them
Yeah.
allowed to prove above
Exactly.
and beyond the mould.
They're going to double in size, so you don't overdone. That's it.
Now, what about Christmas for you? How do you celebrate Christmas?
Well,
Are you
Yeah, in France,
celebrating
we
the
got-
old-fashioned English way or the French way?
I've turned to the English way now, but before in France, it was Christmas Eve, you know.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, you had a seafood platter. In Brittany, where I come from, always seafood. You know, it doesn't matter, oysters, of course, langoustine, a lot of seafood. And then we had a piece of beef or duck or geese very often.
Yeah.
Not that much of a turkey.
Yeah.
Not too much vegetable. In England, we have a lot of vegetable. In France, less vegetable.
So this, you're allowed to prove up for...
A good hour and a half. So
Okay.
they pop up nicely. You can see them now.
That's that one. I'm going to warm these in the oven as well
Yeah.
for you.
So this,
Keep these in there.
you can see the little cork.
Muffins.
Yeah, muffin,
Yeah.
little cork like this.
Yeah.
And that goes in the oven at 180.
So you don't glaze them, nothing? You just
No,
leave
you don't
them?
need to. Absolutely not. No.
So they're going to go in. And they won't take very long to cook.
To bake?
Yeah. Oh, bake, sorry. Cook, bake, sorry. Bake.
About 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
Okay.
To bake, okay.
To bake in the oven, thank you.
So, tell me about the glaze then.
So the syrup, very important, the syrup. So it's made with sugar, castor sugar, little zest of orange and lemon.
Yeah.
And you make like a sugar syrup with it. And at the same time, all your strand of the fruit will confit slowly.
Can this be used... Is this like a donut dough?
You can fry. I never tried frying it.
But this is kind of, it's not a, so if you were making a donut, you wouldn't use...
I wouldn't use that one, but it will fry. It's a sweet, unrich dough, so it will fry and do something. But you can try it. Actually, I'll try this. Good idea.
And
That's
then...
no reason why. So we're going to serve it with some double cream, whipped, a bit of sugar, icing sugar in there, and that's all. You can put vanilla if you want to, or different flavour, but just very simply like that.
Just almost like a little light chantilly.
Yeah, light chantilly, yeah.
Okay.
It's quite rich enough for the sugar you've got from the syrup on this.
Okay. Well, they're in the, so you've got the ones that are, these are the ones,
So,
and they puff up in size as well.
So they're like a sponge. So when you got to make sure you put them in the syrup 3-4 hours before. So if you're late, warm your syrup up. So if you warm it up, it will puff up even faster. So from the size we've got when it's baked, the one you come out of the oven, you can see that if you squeeze them, they are full of syrup and rum.
Just to show you the difference in size as well, we'll take these out because these are now hot, but they almost double in size, don't they? That's the thing.
And of course, when your syrup is done, you put a lot of rum in there. But when you serve them, very simply on a plate, you know, a bit of this on top. I love the little.
So what is the traditional Christmas? Is there a Christmas dessert in France?
Well, bûche de Noël, the classic one.
Yeah, that's the one they have.
Yeah.
You have that before Christmas, do you? Or Christmas?
On Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, you have it.
It's not Christmas Day is a bit different. Christmas Day is more like Boxing Day.
Recovering from Christmas Eve. But the big one is Christmas Eve, then.
Christmas Eve is a réveillon, and you know, you usually back when we were kids, you go to church, come back, and you have a feast to eat and everything. So that was good. And yeah, Boxing Day, when I first arrived, I was a bit confused what Boxing Day was all about. You know? So a bit of syrup on this.
I think they're giving you single cream.
Yeah, give me single cream. Always give me this job to do on Christmas Day. Yeah, thanks very much for that.
I did volunteer, you know. But...
So you want it softly whipped?
Yeah. So you can pour it. You don't have to use a piping bag.
Right. It's nearly there.
Oh.
Nearly
This
there.
one away.
So we went there.
Tiny bit more. Too much. We love you, James.
Happy with that?
Yes.
There you go.
That's perfect. Okay, so that's our little one. I'm going to put a bit of syrup on this.
Right,
Okay.
where do you want this then?
Hang on.
That's big responsibility doing this.
It is huge,
Now these
yeah.
are
So
nice.
tell me about these prunes, because these you bring them every year. These are epic.
They are, the recipe is simple. One big jar, lot of prune, lot of rum. Can't go wrong with this.
That was Mother's recipe, was it? That was.
Well, no, in Brittany, we used to have...
They're unbelievable. You've had one on these.
Just a couple.
If I go fishing or something, I always bring a jar with me. So the gamekeeper, they always have a little... They just warm you up nicely.
It was cold outside before, so we had to have a few more.
we had some in the kitchen anyway. We had to try some.
They're so good, aren't they?
We make a sauce with this. You use it with rabbit, with everything. It's just delicious. It's so simple. And with coffee, you put this in your coffee in the morning or in your porridge.
It's Christmas round at your house next year, then.
Oh, yes.
Right, OK, so where do I want the cream?
So a bit of cream on this, just that. Not too much.
And then we're going to flambe
So
one
we're
of these.
going to do the big one.
Okay. So I'll bring this one over here. We'll leave that one where it is, and then you can then flambe this one over here.
So this one-
So do you want the cream on... I suppose you want the cream on it now, then, do we?
No, we're going to flame it first. Then the cream will go after.
OK.
And we can serve it like this.
Okay, so I'll warm this up. So this is just pure neat rum in here.
Oh, yes.
Do you want a little bit more?
Yeah, come on. We need flame, it's Christmas.
I don't want a house left for Christmas.
wash
as
my
well.
hair.
That'd be quite nice. Right, I'll get this heated for you.
You can do this, your house. You can't be the blowtorch at Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah, let it flame. Go, go, go.
Here we go.
So the hot alcohol will go straight into the kind of brioche as well. Look at this.
Just check that out.
Smell good. Yes. Look at this.
And then some cream on the top.
Bit of cream on top. And I'll show you the golden touch at the end.
There you go. And then finally, we're going to finish this off
Yeah.
with a little gold spray.
You ready?
There you go.
Oops. Look at this.
It's got to be Christmas
Magic
round at
dust.
Mr. Bertinet's house, isn't it? Really? There you
I've
go.
got gold dust everywhere now.
Yeah, exactly. Been picking that up for another year. So give us the name of this dish. It's beautiful.
Rumbaba à la Christmas.
Yeah, well, hello, Richard Bertinet.
Well,
Right, well, bon appetit.
oh, amazing.
Check that out.
Look at that.
You've got a little spoon there.
Put in here. Yeah.
I'm going to take a little bit more cream off this one. Wow. It is one of those desserts, whenever I see it on a menu in France, I've got to have it.
Yeah.
That's the nicest one I've had.
It's so good.
It's a rum.
Interesting,
Yeah,
not
it's
too
so
sweet,
light
though. That's
as
the
well,
thing.
yeah.
So light.
That's why I love rum, because you just cut through the fat or the sugar more like.
It doesn't
Because it
taste
just-
that sweet, does it?
No, it doesn't, no.
It's a
Nice
sponge.
and light, not too sweet. Really lovely. Brilliant.
There you go. Richard
Delicious.
Bertinet, everybody. Right, you've got to try yourself this recipe at home this Christmas as well. It's delicious.
I got it a surprise for you.
You've got to surprise me. I don't do surprise.
Christmas. I know you don't. But I thought, come on.
What's he got here?
Hold on. That's for you. So you remember you bake bread, okay?
I'm going to show the people this. Come here.
Love you, buddy. Love you. Love
Ah,
you. Thank
look
you
at
for having
this.
us. It's our motto. Show the door.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's wicked.
Love that. There you go. Mr. Bertinet, everybody. There you go. Right, I'll be giving you a
brilliant.
missile masterclass. Thank you very much for that, buddy.
You're welcome.
In choux pastry, he should be doing that bit, and I'll be serving a dish of cod and clams for actor Luke Evans a little bit later on today. But I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes for more Christmas cheer, this time with Hampshire's biggest ever musical export, Mr. Craig David will be in the house. I'll see you after the break. That's great. I love that. Thank you, pal. Cheers. Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to Christmas Day at my house. I'm here with Lisa Goodwin-Allen, the brilliant baker Richard Bertinet, and we've got actor and singer Luke Evans joining the party in just a while. And I'll be giving you a Christmassy masterclass in choux pastry in just a bit. But first, we all know what our next guest does on a Wednesday, according to his massive #1 single, 7 Days. Well, it's Christmas Wednesday today, so there'll be none of that at my house anyway, apart from Sam upstairs. There, that's Sam upstairs and auto cue. So instead, let's eat, drink, and be merry. It's the brilliant Craig David. Wonderful to have you on the show as well. Well, we've worked together so many. I've been sort of looking you thousands deep, farther in the far end. Small little intimate gigs as well. You've been performing at as well. It's nice to have you at the house.
It's so lovely to be here, man.
So-
It's so wholesome and warm.
So
you know?
what about
Yeah.
Christmas at your house then? Do you still spend it with the family, or are you venturing out around the world?
Do you know what? It's been the same for 43 years. You know what I mean? I've been going to spending it with my mum. My dad will come over in the afternoon. My sister, and she got married recently, so her and her.
Because you're a local lad to here, aren't you? Just down the road.
I live literally 30
Southampton
minutes
lad.
down the road, and I felt that feeling as I was coming down the M25, M3. There's something about wherever you live, when you come back to your home where you were born.
Yeah.
You just get that. There's that pull, and the nostalgia. So I get that feeling every time I see my mum.
Well, because I
my
want to
parents.
talk about nostalgia with you, really,
Yeah.
because your parents were not in the business at all, and often when you look at this, you're inspired by listening to music growing up as a kid, weren't you?
Yeah, my dad was a bass guitarist. My mum was playing, Stevie Wonder, and she was loving the Osmonds back in the day. I don't know if you remember the Osmonds. Oh, yeah, all a real mixed bag of songs.
But wasn't it when you got given a sort of cassette player?
Oh, it's called Studio 100. It was like a... I had that one too.
You all remember those?
Wait,
you remember,
I got
you
one
remember spending...
with 2 cassettes.
You're spending Boxing Day pulling the tape out of the damn thing.
yes.
There we go. Or trying to record the chart shows with, trying to stop it quickly before someone talked all over the song and catch it quick. Good times. But yeah, all that music was just like, it was bubbling down in Southampton and...
Anyway, sorry, I'm making a noise while you're doing this. But
It's okay, man.
I'm going to get this bit done. There you go. That's chicken Milanese you want.
There we go.
Yeah.
If we don't get it banged up like that, then you're going to get the Milanese that you
Well,
want.
it's never going to
right?
cook as well. It's just going to be a chicken breast. That goes in there. And we're going to flour, egg and breadcrumb this and simply just pan fry it, really, there.
Nice.
But your venture into music, wasn't it the fact that, was it DJing? Was it actually comparing as Mike, wasn't it? That's what got you started, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Before the music, before you started writing your own stuff.
Totally. So I was DJing in a bedroom DJ, and a friend of mine, DJ Flash, was the first person who took me under his wing to go and do some club shows with him. And it was the first time I got on the microphone. So that was when I felt like I could actually do my thing. And he said, you know what? There's something in you. So then we ended up in Bournemouth and Winchester and different clubs around the South Coast. Yeah. Honed my craft, and next thing I started recording.
But timing
songs.
is everything about music, really. But
So true,
you timed it absolutely bang on, didn't you? Really, because it just.
Looking in hindsight, you kind of. You'd like to say that you sort of had a master plan of how it was, but it's the passion. I guess it's the same with food, the timing of everything, you know? A little over, you overcook it. If you know what I mean, a little under. With the music, it was like, I just felt like I'm living this. It was a labour of love, you know?
So was it blues, was it? I mean, that kind of music, was that what really got you into it? 'Cause
R&B and soul music, so R&B in particular. So I was listening to a lot of R&B and hip-hop, but then also I was listening to the UK jungle at the time, and we had, like, record shops that were down in Southampton.
So were you writing music throughout your teenage years then as well? Because it...
Yeah.
Because it happened to you, I mean, dare I say, you were like 19...
Yeah.
20 years old, and it went absolutely insane, didn't it?
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. I mean,
how did that first record deal come about? How did it happen?
So I mean, I had songs like "Walking Away," which were on like a demo CD, and that song had been around a few record labels for a good 6 to 8 months. This is what was different then. It was like it wasn't like so instant. So people were getting a feel for it, and originally it had a sample from U2's "One."
Right.
Little did I know all the years later at the Brit Awards that U2 would go up and sing One and transition into Walking Away. And this was like when I was first nominated for Brit Awards. So I was like, these incredible things were happening, you know, like U2 singing one of your songs.
Because you can't imagine it, because, I mean, we're talking about the music industry does transform you. You start off, you're a lad from Southampton. Next minute, I believe you're at a gig in America and Stevie Wonder's singing to your music on the front row.
Yeah, man.
Beyonce's there. Within months, you know?
It's the most wildest story. There's a place called the House of Blues in LA on Sunset Strip. We did 3 nights, and the first night it was Jennifer Lopez and Missy Elliott who come to see the performance. And I still had Jennifer Lopez posters on my wall at home. So this was like, whoa. Yeah. Missy Elliott, Lorraine. The following night, I thought it couldn't really get much better than that, but Beyonce came to see. And again, Destiny's Child posters are on my wall at home. So I'm 18 years old. And the third night...
You're 18?
18, and my life is, I'm like, if this whole bubble bursts and I'm back in my flat in Southampton, then it was a wonderful ride. Third night, Stevie Wonder is in the crowd singing Walking Away back to me, because I'm singing the song, and I look in the crowd, and I'm like, that can't be Stevie Wonder singing Walking Away.
Yes,
so
2 matches.
From that moment on, I was like, you know what? Like I said, if this all just disappears and it was just an apparition, then I've had
that was your first album. Tell me about the new single that we've got now, because we've got a little clip of it. So
the new single is called In Your Hands, and was very much inspired by the echoes of when I was back in primary school and I used to know the song You've Got the Whole World in Your Hands.
Because you've got to remember this when you were a child at
it was echoes of it had come through. But I was in the studio and that part of the chorus hadn't been used. I'd already written a song that didn't go to that part. But when I was walking out and we were about to leave the studio with a different chorus, I started humming that song. And I went back in and the producer I was with, Mike, said, I think you need to just cut that vocal quickly. Just put that vocal down and we'll come back to it. And I hope I've done it that justice.
Well, you sure have. Well, let's have a listen to him in action. Enjoy this one.
Back in the day, I was so unaware. In a million ways, you said you'd always be there. 'Cause I knew in my heart I would wake up one day on a whole different wave, and I'll be back in your hands, back in your hands, back in your hands, back in your hands. You got the whole world 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 in your hands.
good, that. It's really, really good. Really good. So I know you got one eye on the rest of the food over here, but you're going to be celebrating that, but also celebrating all the stuff that you've done in your entire career. You're going on stage again on this big tour. So tell me about because I know this, because I came out of the O2 last week, looked left, and there's a massive, great poster of you outside. So,
you know, I always want to try and be around, you know, just to show some love. I know I was going to come and see you.
Tell me about the tour, then.
So, I mean, it's going to be 25 years since that first album, Born to Do It. So it's called the Commitment Tour. We're doing an arena tour up and down the country in February. And what's the most exciting thing is that to think 25 years of songs that I can bring out. And it's hard to kind of pick which songs are going to make the cut, but letting everyone know that the big ones, the 7 Days, is the Walking Aways, the Fill Me Ins, the Rewinds, the songs that hold such dear memories for people, to go back on stage in 25 years later to perform those songs and find that they mean so much to people. I just feel like that's an honour and a privilege as an artist to be doing it 25 years down the line.
That's what you want with Marti as well. Those kind of iconic songs, that's what people want on stage, but that's what triggers people's memories, don't it?
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to get back out there and give people some of the TS5 DJ vibes, some of the acoustic performances. Yeah. It's something, there's nothing that's quite like it. I mean, to go from creating a song in the studio and then being on stage in front of thousands of people and seeing such a wide generation of people coming through. I'm seeing, like, the people who grew up with my music, their sons and daughters. I'm seeing the grandparents kicking off, going, like, we need to get involved, but we might be like, let me sit down for this one. Let me sit down for this. But you can mosh on the standing floor ticket. So it's just a beautiful time. I think, again, for me as a performer, a privilege to do that. And I remember all those songs and what they meant to me growing up. So I just want to make sure I always land the big hits for people and do the ad-libs and sing the songs the way that people remember them, rather than doing new renditions that is cool for self-indulgence.
Well, you're not done bad from a guy down the road as well.
Just down the road. And we've done so many of those performances, as we said, how food and senses and music, they're all one of the same.
Memories.
Yeah,
well, hopefully this is going to create memories. Maybe a gym membership this might create.
That's what I'm saying.
This is what people don't realise about the Milanese. You take just the remaining bit of butter,
gym membership,
and this goes over the top and around the edge. And this is my version of chicken Milanese. And if you see what's remaining in the pot of the butter, that is what is left.
It's Christmas Day, you're
Good
allowed
for the voice
to.
of butter.
Happy Christmas, everybody. That's how to make it properly. There you go.
Brilliant.
Right, bon appetit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dive into that. Don't spill anything on your trousers or your jumper.
Yeah,
I wear my best outfit for you today. Best outfit.
Thinking
Christmas
now,
best.
right, should I
There we go.
My Christmas best, exactly.
It is one of these dishes, though. It's a chef's favourite, isn't it? Don't you think?
It is. It's a special time of year, we're allowed to. That's all I'm thinking.
But just have a taste of that.
Yeah. I see why, though.
Chicken Milanese is
I
that.
understand that. Yeah.
If it's in oil, it's not the same.
Amazing.
It's not the same. Happy with that?
That block of butter went in well. that is very
Good starter as ever. Right, we've got Marti Pellow will be forming
Wow.
a Christmas classic for us a little bit later on this morning. We've got a masterclass in shoe pastry coming your way very shortly. Thank you very much for your help on that one. Thank you.
Pleasure.
But make sure you're back in a few minutes. We'll be treating Hollywood superstar Luke Evans to a festive fish dish. See you in a bit. Welcome back. Now we're giving you a Christmas crash course in making shoe pastry in today's little masterclass, and we joined a festive musical treat from my old pal Marti Pellow at the end of the show. But first, I'm here with a Welsh lad done good. His career has taken him from the valleys of his homeland to the Hollywood hills. It's the brilliant Luke Evans. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you again.
I'm happy to be here.
Is it good to be? I say home. I say on home turf. Roughly.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice. I've been away for 3 months. I've been in Portland, Oregon for 3 months shooting, so it's lovely. And it's a nice time of the year to come back to as well. I like it.
Because I know you love your food as well, really. What do you like in the kitchen this Christmas, really? Do you sort of take charge or you stand back?
Well, this year I won't be doing it, but last year I did. I cooked for 10 people, did the whole thing. wouldn't let anyone in the kitchen. I'm
Is
like
that it? This is that's it?
I don't mind people on this side,
Right.
but I don't like them coming over to that side.
Interfering.
Yeah, I'm quite good. This setup is good for me.
Well, I'm going to do a little dish that I've got on my travels around Spain. I'm going to do roasted cod with a little picada, which we're going to take. The sauce is made out of the almonds, some bread, some garlic, that kind of stuff. But I've got some beautiful cod over here. And all we do with that is you take lashings of olive oil, some garlic, and roast it in the oven. Just nice and simple. But I've got this beautiful, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that, absolutely
Stunning.
beautiful bit of line caught cod. We've gone here, roll it around, keep it nice and white, nice and fresh. Bit of salt and pepper, that gets roasted in the oven. So you say you've just come back from your travels.
Yeah.
You must spend your entire time at the moment travelling around. How does your diary look at it for 2025?
Yeah, it's quite busy, but all I say is, if somebody can put it into a diary that I can see where I can have a break and a breather,
Right.
I'm good. I'm good to go. But yeah, it's all right. I love traveling. Traveling is one of the best things I've ever done for myself, and the fact that my job makes me travel as well is brilliant. I don't just visit somewhere when I shoot a movie or a TV show. I actually live there. I settle and discover places and.
Well, I want to talk about this because you put all this down, pen to paper. This is a personal book for you, really. You can see when I was talking about you off camera.
Yeah.
This has taken an awful lot of work. But what's amazing with this, you're quite brutal and honest about your childhood as well. You had quite a difficult childhood, not the mega parents, supportive parents, but
yeah, amazing.
But troublesome at school, as in bullied at school, and you were quite brutally honest with all this. Put that on a piece of paper.
Well, I think it's important, that if I'm going to tell a story, it's not just this is my story, but I thought this is not an unusual thing that kids get bullied, and it really can damage people. When you're kids, if you're bullied, it can stunt your confidence, your ambitions, your drive, self-confidence just gets smashed. And I thought, well, it did the same to me, but I got through it. And obviously, I'm here today. And I think it's good for people to know that they may see me as this actor who does action films and all that stuff, but I started as a very timid, quiet mouse who used to hide in the shadows in school because I was bullied really badly. And hopefully there's a positive message there, and if people can relate to it, I think it's not a bad thing.
You mentioned travel because throughout the book, you've got some amazing pictures of you on your travels and stuff like that, and films and doing what you're doing. But can I go back to when you were a teenager? You got the opportunity, 17 years old, leaving the valleys, going to London.
Yeah.
You've been there before with your parents, but you'd walked out and Piccadilly and seen that.
Yeah.
That must be, it's totally polar opposite from where you were brought up.
I mean, I was brought up in a coal mining village. There was no bright lights, there was no hustle and bustle, and as part of its charm, but I knew as a kid I had these dreams of moving to the big city, and luckily enough I got the opportunity to go to college in London, and it was amazing, and also it was where I found my community, my tribe, my identity as a human being.
But your identity was through music as well, first of all, wasn't it? The theatre.
Yes.
But it wasn't until you were like late 29, let's say, we're not like you're old now, but
no,
you're not
I know,
old.
but it was a long time.
But in terms of that land, in terms of, were you constantly trying to get into film, or is it just suddenly...
No, I didn't. No, it was like, that was not even an idea of mine that film would even be part of my journey. No, it was so far removed. It was sort of like that nirvana of something that was just not for me. It was never going to come to me.
What was that? Because it was not achievable or something?
Yeah, just like it was so... I couldn't reach it. I just thought, how am I ever going to... That's just not going to happen for me. And also, it was just... You're in musical theatre, and unfortunately, it's very hard for musical theatre people to break out of the musical theatre world. It's not easy. And so when it happened for me, it was like I couldn't really believe that it was happening. And
that was all... You put that in... You say about it in the book. The advantage that you did musical theatre played such an important part in terms of what you do now, in terms of...
Well,
the musical side of it, but I presume the pressure and everything else.
The pressure... And remember, like, I just did a play for the first time in 15 years last year, and, it's no joke, theatre. It's like... They say, oh, you only work 3 hours a day, but... From 11 a.m. in the morning, you're thinking about the energy levels you're expending because you know how much energy every night you have to do it, and then you do it 8 times a week. Yeah. And when everybody's out having a nice dinner and in a bar, you're actually on stage entertaining the crowds, and so it's really it's an intense job, and I have a massive admiration for theatre people, and I count myself as one of them, but I managed 3 months, and I just love them.
So tell me about all the things you've done, really. The highlights must be something like, you know, mega films like The Hobbit and stuff like that. You did Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
But there's a great story in the book, and he mentioned that your parents were chatting away. Was it at a premiere? They didn't realise who they were talking to.
No, my mother was... She said, we were on the way home from the premiere of the second Hobbit, and she said, I've had a lovely evening. I chatted to this lovely man, quite short, with a beard. He is Welsh heritage. And I was like, who are you talking about? She said, I don't know who he was. He just a beard, strange accent. And I'm like, Peter Jackson? And she's like, yes, that's the man. She'd been chatting to the director of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and she'd got more out of Peter Jackson in 10 minutes than I had in the whole year of spending time with him.
So how did the transition... it's all in the book, but tell people how the transition went from The Lad in the Valleys, the West End. How on earth do you go from that? Because it seemed to you like Hollywood, it just came bang, 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 bang.
It did, yeah. And, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I managed it. I just had to...
talent, for one.
And probably bluffing it for the first couple of days on a film set, because I had no formal training as to how a film set works, how to act on camera. You know, you reduce the size of everything. I was used to singing to the gods, you know, like...
Yeah.
So I just spent the first couple of films just observing, watching, and trying to understand the craft of film acting as opposed to theatre acting and on stage. It's a very, very different machine.
Do you go back, because it says in the book, one of your heroes is Marlon Brando. That kind of... Is that what you still look at, or is you...
Yeah, I mean, it's just watching what Marlon does, but when he did it, in the period of when film acting was... there was a certain way of acting when Marlon turned up as this young man.
Yeah.
But there is a naturalistic, it's just effortless realism about him. But, you know, it's a very clever thing, and to watch it and observe it, I think my job... I mean, it's like we work in a creative industry. You are the same, you know, and you're always learning new recipes. You've been to Spain, you found this one, and when I work with actors or I watch certain films, I'm like, wow, watching how that actor perceived that moment, and I just keep adding little notes in my mind and thinking, well, I'll use that one day.
Well, hopefully you're liking this, because we've got on our lovely little clams over here, because I've nearly finished it, look. So you've got your beautiful clams that I've fit with the almonds and the breadcrumbs and the garlic and all that kind of stuff is there. We've got the roasted cod in the oven, but I think you'll like this dish. It's really, really simple.
You know what's nice?
Super delicious.
I don't have to share this with anybody either.
No, you get it all to yourself. You get it all to yourself. And then we've got our gorgeous little bit of cod. Gonna lift that off there. And there we have it. You'll be sticking around for the rest of the day as well. But best to look with the book. The book is called?
It's called, Boy from the Valleys, My Unexpected Journey.
There you go. Well, there we have it. My roasted cod with clams and Spanish picada.
Look at that.
Easy as that.
Beautiful.
Done. Yay! Well, there you have it. It's one of your favourite dishes. It's a pleasure to cook for you. So you're going to stick around for the rest of the day?
Absolutely.
Dive into that.
Oh, thank you
With the
so
clams
much,
and the
James.
cod. It's very Spanish, isn't it, really?
That's beautiful. Almejas, bacalao.
Now, I'll be serving up the ultimate Christmas cheese board for Luke and the rest of my guests later on. And we've got a musical surprise in store for you from Marti, Pellow at the end of the show. You're enjoying that, aren't you?
Oh, my God.
That's really nice, isn't it? It's particularly on a wood-fired oven. It's absolutely delicious. There you go. But join us again after the break for a masterclass in choux pastry you don't want to miss. See you in a bit. Welcome back. Now, we've got another Christmassy recipe on the way from the very talented Lise Goodwin-Allen, and I'll be treating Craig, Luke, Marti and Lorraine to the ultimate cheese board at the end of the show. But first, it's time for today's masterclass, and I'm going to show you how to make the perfect choux pastry, because it's brilliant this time of the year, really. We've all got these ingredients in our kitchen. We've got flour, we've got butter, we've got eggs, and we've got water. Very, very simple to make choux pastry, but what I'm going to create is that over there. That is called a gâteau Paris-Brest. Very, very simple. It looks really elaborate. It celebrates a cycle race. It was a 750-mile cycle race all around Paris. And the cyclists love this so much because they got all the calories from it. I cannot tell you how many calories in there because that would be banned from doing it, but it's ace. Trust me, it's ace. So it starts off with what we've got over here. We've got some water, we've got eggs, we've got butter, and we've got flour. So how do you make choux pastry, first of all? Well, first off, I always start it in a cold pan, and I dice the butter and have this at room temperature. When I say dice the butter, you dice it quite small, like that. Add a pinch of salt in there, and then you just bring it to the boil. Now, this is where it's important to actually have the butter diced, because if we were waiting for this butter as a big lump to dissolve and melt, what happens is the water starts to evaporate as this starts to come to the boil, and we've got less water than we should have. And the pastry recipe changes, and it becomes a lot more stiffer, sometimes a little bit too loose as well. So it's important, really, just to bring this to the boil and allow the butter to melt, first of all. So we can crank this up a little bit in there. The flour, I'm just using some plain flour over here, but there are really two key stages of this. This is the first one, where you just want this butter to melt, like that. It's happening quite quickly. And then with our flour, as soon as it comes to the boil, that's when you put the flour in. So you're just coming up to the boil now. You can see the butter's melting nicely. You see what happened if we're waiting for a big lump of butter to melt in here. As this boils, the water evaporates, and we just got a different recipe for our choux. Simple as that. So this is the important bit. This is the first important stage of getting the choux pastry right. Allow this to boil, like that, and then add the flour. And now this can go in. Now keep it on the heat and keep mixing it, really, with this. If you're unsure, take it off the heat a little bit. Make sure all the flour gets mixed in. And then put it back on the stove. Now, this is the key to it. You need to cook out this flour a little bit. When I was at college, you should be able to hear this sizzle in the pan. So if I leave it on the heat like that, you can hear it. Listen. Hopefully you can hear it sizzle. There we go. And I'm going to take a tray. So I'm going to take one of these trays and just allow this, pop it onto the tray. And what I do with this is I spread it onto the tray and just allows this to cool down. Now, some people will actually put it in the mixer and mix this to cool it down. The problem is with that, you can actually toughen up the gluten in here, and you can toughen up the whole pastry from it as well. But you just want to allow this to cool down a little bit while we then concentrate on our eggs, because if we add this mixture, or the egg mixture, too early with this, this is so hot, this will actually start to cook the eggs as well. So it's a good idea with this as well to crack the eggs into a bowl rather than crack them straight into a machine. It's a lot easier for them to add to the choux. So a little bit of that on this one. So once we get that, we can then come to our mixer. I've got here a little paddle with this, so you can take your choux, which will just come straight off. You can slide that into your machine, like that. So you just want to allow it to cool slightly. You can allow it to go cold if you want, but if you've got the time, but just gradually get that on there. And then we can add the eggs one by one. This will cool the mixture down as well, but I like to add probably two at a time. 1, 2, and just mix this together. And it'll almost go like scrambled egg to start with. Keep mixing it, and it will actually start to come together as pastry. Careful not to add too many eggs in one go, which that is, it's starting to come together now. Now we can add the other two in there. As long as you stick to this process, choux pastry is really easy to do, and you can use it for so many different things. Sweet and savoury, of course. That's the great thing about choux pastry. You can do little choux buns with cheese, like gougères, really, really easy. You can do eclairs, classic desserts come from choux pastry as well. You've got Paris-Brest, which is this. Gâteau Saint-Honoré, named after the patron saint of pastry cooks, which is a disc and choux buns all around, dipped in sugar. And also you've got croquembouche, that French-style wedding cake. But we mix that together and you end up with your wonderful little choux pastry like that. You can also add things which I've done on this show, like fresh crab to this. You can add some smoked salmon to it. You can deep fat fry it, and it goes like these lovely little fritters. Really, really versatile as choux pastry. So, once we get to that stage, to make our Harry breast. Now, this mixture will make one of those, make a big, massive one, but what we're going to do is do smaller ones, really, just to show you. So, fill up your piping bag of this. There we go. And then, I don't like to use a nozzle for this, I just use the piping bag as it is. I like to cut a little piece like that. And then, very simply, we can then create these little circles. Now, you can do it like I've got on here. You can use a little bowl as a little template for a larger one like this. It's entirely up to you, or you can do smaller ones. So smaller ones, you just work your way around. Now, these will expand about 4 times the size. So that will end up as that. Just give you an idea. So when you're spacing them out on the tray, you see what happens with this. They go a lot bigger. So you can just pipe these ever so slightly round, like that. And you see, the mixture's great. Whether you do choux buns or eclairs, that kind of stuff. Really, really simple. Then, what you can do, set the temperature of the oven, like I said, quite high, 200 degrees for this one, and you want to bake them. Now, it's important, if you are baking quite a few of these, they create quite a lot of steam. This is the water in here, this is the vital bit. When you cook them in a small oven, after about sort of 30 minutes, you just open the oven door, like Yorkshire puddings, like that, and the steam will evaporate out, and they'll start to dry out around the edge. Too much steam will cause them to rise and it'll actually cause them to collapse. So what you want to do, after about 30 minutes, these want a good sort of 50 minutes in the oven to cook. Just open the oven door slightly, about halfway through, just to let the steam disappear. Not fully open the door, but then close it and keep cooking them. That's it. And you'll end up with what we've got over here. Your classic choux. And to finish this off now, we finish this off in a variety of different ways. We finish it off with a little bit of praline. Praline is very simple. You just make some sugar. We've got some toasted almonds over here. We've got some toasted almonds and hazelnuts, really. Hazelnuts is a traditional sort of one, really. We've got chocolate and hazelnut paste, and we're going to use that to sort of finish and fill our choux. So I've got some whipped cream over here. We're going to add some vanilla. Now, you know how much I love this sort of vanilla, this squeezy sort of vanilla over here. That's going to go in. We want to sort of half whip the cream. Once we get to sort of half whipped, then we can add our chocolate and hazelnut spread. You know the one I'm talking about, that one. That goes in there, like that. And then you keep whisking this until you've got sort of firm cream. It's so much easier. In the restaurant, we would make sort of praline using this that we've got on here, but it's so easy, look, to have this done. And it doesn't matter if it sort of looks this sort of marbled effect. I quite like that, really, as well. So once we get to that stage, another piping bag, and then we're almost ready to finish this. That's the great thing. The fantastic thing with these as well, choux pastry, once it's cooked, it freezes brilliantly. So if you do want to make plenty of these, you've got time over the Christmas period for the New Year, of course, you can have these made. Now, what's happening in this pan, we've got some caramelised sugar. So the same sort of flavour of what I've got going on here, but without the chocolate. Once we've got the caramel ready, then I'm going to add the toasted hazelnuts and the toasted almonds. So we've got our little piping bag over here. We can get our choux and then take a knife and cut these all the way through. These are just so great individual. You'll see these if you ever visit France, particularly Paris, this time of the year. In fact, all times of the year, really, you'll see these. It's a very, very famous dessert. And really, really tasty and simple. But we've got another one. Because it's Christmas, we've got plenty of crew here. as well as guess. I'm making a load of these, but look, really simple like that. Caramel, you just want a nice, even caramel colour. All the sugar to dissolve. That's the most important bit with this. So you get it all dissolved. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit more. And then with the praline now, we can pipe these. So, and go in. Another one. Don't be frightened. It's a bit like an eclair. I always think eclairs, you can tell a good pastry shop with eclairs. Eclairs should feel heavy because you want to be full of cream and lusciousness. We just top that on there, that one on there, and that one on there. And then into our caramel now, we pop in our toasted hazelnuts, our toasted almonds, like that. And then I'm going to pop these onto here because if you grab this when you put the caramel on it and it's still hot, it's like boiling hot lava. So it's a good idea to pop them on here. Take your lovely caramel. So once your almonds and your hazelnuts go in, just pop it back on the heat because as soon as the almonds and the hazelnuts go in there, it cools the sugar down. And you can take this mixture and sort of sprinkle it over the top. So you put the praline all over it. As soon as the praline hits this, it starts to set. Allow these to cool. It gives you a really good crunch to it as well. But I think this is just, it's one of the magical, magical desserts, really. It really is. As a pastry chef, even I can't help but smile whenever I make this. And then a nice dusting of ice and sugar over the top. And then put this, and put this next to the big one. And there you have it. An amazing dessert that feeds so many people. That's great for Christmas Day. A gâteau Paris-Bresse. How good does that look? Now, I'll be laying on an epic cheese board for my guest, Marti, Pellow, and I'll be treating us to an exclusive performance by the Pizza Oven at the end of the show. But I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes as we enjoy a Christmas cracker recipe from Chef Lise Goodwin-Allen. See you in a bit. It's good, that, isn't it? Welcome back. Now, my guests, Craig David, Luke Evans, Marti Pellow and Lorraine Kelly. What a lineup that is, isn't it, really? Yeah. They're all taking a nap before they took into the ultimate cheese board at the end of the show. But first, I'm here with Mr. Richard Bertinet. We're going to unbuckle our belts for this one, really, because we're about to enjoy food from an amazing female chef who's been incredible, top of her game for years and years and years, and decorates a Christmas tree with Michelin stars rather than sparkly lights. It's the amazing Lise Goodwin-Allen. Great to have you on. Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
This smells unreal. This smells unbelievable. What are you going to be doing?
Well, we're being a bit naughty today, actually.
Yeah.
So we're going to do basically a classic. So we're going to do chicken Diane.
Right.
Which usually we do it with steak. We're going to do chicken, and we're going to serve some chips on the side.
These are fantastic chips. So what? So you want me to? We're going to start with the stuffing bit first.
Yeah. So basically, you're going to get the stuffing. So chop loads of herbs, and in here we've got the chicken. So what we've done is we've taken a chicken crown, and we've brined it for about an hour and a half. So brine basically tenderises the chicken, but also it seasons it at the same time. So it's a good way to penetrate a great flavour through. So we wanted to put spices or different things.
A lot of things brine's very complicated. It's just salted water.
It is, yeah, salted water. I've got in here some garlic, some thyme, a little bit of peppercorns in there.
Yeah.
So you're chopping that there. So we're going to make the stuffing, which goes on here. So we've got some butter. So the brioche stuffing that goes underneath it is basically some butter.
A little bit of butter.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You were here. You and me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything with butter in there, get it in.
Well, people criticise me for using too much butter. You've got to go to France. I mean, look.
It's the amount of butter when you cook.
Exactly, the American guys. So you've got brioche in there as well.
Yeah, so we've got brioche, some roasted garlic,
Yeah.
some butter, some more butter.
And then so you just roasted that with the skins. That's all you've done with that.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So it
You
just
want
goes
the
really
herbs
nice
in?
and soft. Yeah, herbs in there and a little bit of lemon zest in there as well. OK, so we basically...
So this is going to go under the skins, this one?
Yeah, so this goes under the skin, kind of protects, almost protects the chicken, but then just gives it a really good, nice, kind of decadent flavour underneath there as well.
Right, that's that. And then you want me to crack on and do these potatoes, which
Yeah,
we'll get
so
on in a minute while
potatoes,
you're doing that. But
you're going to wedge them up.
I'm very excited about the potatoes.
yeah, now I'll get rid of this brine as well. There you go.
So basically, we mixed all that together there. We should have a piping bag. Let's pinch off there. So the best way is just to pop in a piping bag.
And the potatoes, these, you can explain what you're doing with the potatoes, well, what we've got on here, because these are pretty special.
Yeah, so what you want is a good chipping potato. And in the pan in front of me here that you can see boiling away is, and this is a secret, so some water, salt,
Write it down.
thyme, garlic,
Yeah.
and duck fat. And then literally we're just going to pop the wedges into them.
So these just drop in.
Yep, that's it.
So you treat these like you're doing roast potatoes, I suppose?
Yes, yeah, you do, yeah. So you cook them until you can get a little knife that just slides through them gently.
Yeah.
And then you put them in a colander like you would do. What's that tray disappear to there? So you put them into a colander, and then the ticket is to put rice flour and garlic granules, mix it together.
Yeah.
And when you're tossing to kind of ruffle the potatoes, you dust them with
Yeah.
the rice flour.
This is what you end up with, which we've got here. These are straight from the restaurant, these, aren't
That's
they?
it, yeah.
Hence
So
the
I made
plastic
sure that-
container.
Chef's
I was going to
Chefy
be posh.
container,
I'm
yeah.
going to be posh and put them in a dish.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
the chicken here, this is...
So this is the chicken. So it's got all the stuffing underneath it, and we're going to pop it in the oven at 100 degrees.
I'll let you wash your hands while you're doing
Yep.
that. So 100 degrees, this just sits in, I mean, a really low oven. For how long?
Yeah, so that'll take us about an hour. And what it does, it just cooks so much slower and more evenly that you should get a really juicy kind of chicken from the outside and in. Sometimes people put them in at 180 degrees, but it dries the outside out and then it's moist in the middle. This should be moist and beautiful all over. So after you've had it for 100 degrees, let it rest for about 10 minutes and then pop it back into the oven at 220, which will crisp the skin
Straight in
up.
the oven as it is,
That's
like
it,
that,
yeah,
okay.
straight into the oven.
Lisa, could you do that with a small turkey?
Yeah, you could do, yeah. Yeah, exactly the same.
I mean, you must be absolutely crazy, your kitchen, isn't it, really, this time of year? Because
Oh,
you've
it's
got the
bonkers.
run-up to Christmas.
Yeah, it's completely
And then I've got to
bonkers.
talk about Obsession, because Obsession, you're celebrating another milestone with Obsession.
Yeah.
It's going on and on and on. Explain to us
incredible.
about what Obsession is, because I've been doing it a few times. It's really special.
Yeah, so Obsession is it's been running for, this will be our 25th anniversary coming up.
Incredible.
We have chefs from all over the world that come and cook with us.
Yeah.
To name a few, you know, we've got Alan Roux that's going to come and do it, Yannick Pellow. We've got a young guy from South Africa that's coming over, Ivor, a guy from Singapore, you know, Miller from Humu. You got
This,
John
like I said,
from
25
Interlude.
years this has been going on. It's like a... I mean, it's relentless for you.
Oh, yeah, it's,
Just as soon as you
I mean-
get through Christmas, you've got that to worry
Oh,
about.
it's bonkers, yeah. Absolutely bonkers. I think we have to be slightly bonkers to do it, to be fair. So we're going to do the Diane sauce in here.
So tell us about the Diane, then.
So we've got some onions in there that we're just going to give them a couple of minutes just to soften up.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple of different types of mushrooms. So we're going to pop those there in a
So
second.
you soften the
to pan.
onions, but these
Yeah.
are your chips. You just want to flash them.
Yeah, you're
So
going to
these have been
them down.
blanched.
Yep, that's it.
This is what we end up with, these chips.
Let me try.
I'm going to try one, yeah. And these just blanch now, very hot.
Just once, yeah?
That's it. So when they come out, so
Yeah.
once you've cooked them and fluffed them, put them in your freezer. They'll keep there for, you know, a couple of weeks in a plastic
Really nice. You're
container.
going to enjoy these.
Yeah, I will.
And then just blanch them from frozen.
Can you do shallow frying as well, you see?
You can do, yeah. You
Yeah.
can just put them in shallow fry in a pan.
That's amazing. You can do this in advance, have them in the freezer,
Yeah.
and just tell them at last minute. That's really good.
So this is the steak Diane, but this is
This is
it's interesting. You use 3 different types of mustards with yours.
Yeah, I think, you know, all different mustards have got different kind of profiles. It's nice to have the whole grain that's got a little bit of a pop in there, in the seed.
I've never seen 3 mustard used in one sauce. That's pretty good.
That's it, you see.
But really,
Yeah,
you get the heat from,
Christmas, got to use it all.
you get the heat from the English mustard as well, really.
That's it, yeah. So brandy in, let it reduce down,
Yeah.
and then I've got a little bit of kind of chicken sauce that goes in there. You put that in there. And then that'll just kind of reduce just slightly.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do in there is just put a teaspoon of each of the mustards in there. And a little bit of salt. That's it.
I've got to ask all the chefs that come on Christmas Day, what are you cooking? What are you cooking?
Oh, we have turkey with all the trimmings.
Right.
Pigs and blankets. And,
Is that you have to have the
all
whole
sorts.
thing?
Oh, yeah, the whole hog, yeah. I love a Christmas
Are you grabbing some of it from the restaurant and taking it home?
Well, we try and, like, pre-do stuff at home because there's quite a large of our family. No, is the answer. But our family's quite big, so there's about 15 of us.
Right.
That in there.
And I take it you're going to be doing the cooking?
Yeah, well, between us all, we're all, like, bringing a starter or a main course or... Yeah, but, yeah. In another nutshell, I will be doing all the
creme
cooking.
fraiche in here?
Yeah, so instead of using cream, we use a bit of creme fraiche. It just makes it lighter.
OK.
So we just finish it in there. Got these chips there that are delicious and crispy.
I'll take these out, yeah. These are really, really
So
nice.
that's just coming down there.
Do you want a little bit of salt on here or not?
Yes, please.
Just a touch of salt.
A bit of seasoning in there. Beautiful. And then we'll just take some of these lovely herbs, pop them in.
There we go. There's the herbs going in as well.
So we're nearly there now.
We're not far off, actually. And then we'll pile this on here. You're going to like these, Chief. You're gonna...
Anybody can do this at home. I love that.
Yeah.
Delicious, yeah.
So this is the chicken. You can see there that it's come in and the skin's just gone nice and crispy.
Wow.
I'll get you a knife.
Yep, perfect.
There you go.
So then, take that off onto there.
There you have it.
So then, take it down, you can hear now, you know, with the moistness of it. And it's so nice and juicy.
You've done that before, haven't you?
Couple times. Oh, that's it.
That's perfect.
So like that.
So are you doing a chicken for 4, cutting that in half?
Yeah, I'll cut it in a little bit.
OK.
So,
You don't have to.
you want 2 plates, 1 plate?
Yeah, I'll give
2
you another
plates.
plate.
So we're going to fill the plate with all this lovely Diane sauce. Like that.
You've also made that look really easy as well.
I love it. I just think, you know, flavour some food this time of year. It's really nice to do as well. I love kind of the Diane flavours with the mushrooms. If I take that off there, you can see, I suppose, the chicken that sits on there. There's a little bit of parsley oil just to show off a little bit, if you want to put some of those around there
Just around
first.
the edge.
Yep.
A little bit of parsley all around there.
That's nice.
Take it these bits of the chef then,
Yeah, that is, yeah, just to check them that they're all right. So there you go, you got a nice kind of piece of chicken Diane.
It looks absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. Is that everything?
That's it, chicken
That's it.
Diane with chips.
There you have it. Roast chicken Diane and chips. Lisa Goodwin-Allen. Brilliant. There you go, chef.
Oh.
Be nice, you might get a chip. Might get a chip. Go on, we've got you a knife and fork there, because we've got our chicken. I could just...
Nice.
Look at that.
Straight out of the oven. Look at that one as well. Glorious.
For
Straight out of the
seconds.
oven. It's
So,
delicious.
oh, the smell.
Go and grab yourself a chip.
Other chips.
One chip. One chip.
I'll have 2.
Yeah, 2. Right, go dive in. There's...
I must try this.
Got to
After
try
you,
this.
you're-
No, go on.
Yeah.
Oh,
The chicken, like you say, is so moist.
Yeah.
But
skin.
it's the brioche that holds the butter in together, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and then it helps, you know, crisp that skin up as well underneath it.
That is very special.
Here's your chip.
Lisa, love that.
This is a cracking plate of food. There we go. Lisa Goodwin-Allen, everybody. Good luck with Obsession as well.
Thank you very much.
Superstar, this lady. Right, we've got to take a quick break now, but join us again in a couple of minutes where we're treating all my guests for the ultimate cheese board, and I need a little bit of help from
problem.
you and you, if that's all right. Cheese board, we've got a lot to do. See you after the break. Welcome back, sadly, to the last part of the show. But I'm back in the kitchen with all my guests, of course. Richard, Lisa, Luke, Lorraine, Craig and Marti! What on earth do you do for all you lot, really? Well, you put you lot to use, and we're going to put you lot to use as well,
Yes.
you to use, if that's all right. So you're on toast duty, is
Toast
that right?
duty, yes.
So we're going to... This is a massive cheese board. So if you're faced with this sort of thing, we're going to do cheese fondue, we're going to do smoked duck salad, we're going to do deep-fried Yorkshire cheese, we've got over here, we've got Oglesfield over there as well, and then we're going to make a mayonnaise and make a little salad with it and do a nice little fondue at the end of it. So I'm going to put you to work, if that's all right, doing the crumbs. So we've got the walnuts, the parsley, the breadcrumbs get blended, and then we're going to pane these chunks of Wensleydale. And when I'm on about chunks of Wensleydale, that is sort of a chunk.
That's a chunk.
That deep-fried is what we're going to be having, all right? So
Okay.
I'm going to put you to good use.
Awesome.
I want you to grate all that cheese as well, Mr. Bertinet. That would be great.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to put you to use on that. You're on toast duty, Chief.
Okay.
Because we're on the best bit. This is Ogleshields, made by the Montgomery brothers. Down in Somerset, they've got a Jersey cow's head. They're usually famous for cheddar, but they've got Jersey cow's head. This on toast will change your life.
Really?
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah. This on toast, followed by that chicken dish that I made for you, will finish your life.
Yeah,
with it.
trust me.
But it's quite a lot of butter in that one, wasn't there? But we're going to slice this all up
Just a touch.
as well. So where do we even begin to start chatting to you, Luke? Well, first of all, I'm going to start at the end. We'll start with you, Luke. You've got a new book out as well, because this book, we touched on it earlier, straight under the grill, Chief, as it is.
Nice.
That's it, straight underneath there. So we touched on it earlier. This goes right back to your childhood. You had an amazing childhood. I mentioned your parents. We didn't really have time to chat outside about it, but you used to spend your Saturdays travelling around, knocking on people's doors with your parents.
Yeah, I did, yeah. That's what a job of a Jehovah's Witness was on a Saturday morning. You'd knock people's doors when they were, you know, just waking up, having breakfast, and I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I wanted to be at home watching Going Live with the rest of the kids. But
And
yeah,
this is I mentioned the fact that you got bullied at school. This was part of the whole...
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, if the bullies see you in school and then you're knocking on their door on a Saturday morning, it just made it all so much worse. So, yeah, it wasn't a fun time, but you know what? I mean, looking back, it was incredible that you get through those things as a kid and you're very resilient and I just always used to say, and I put it in the book, that I always used to say to myself that it's just temporary. This is just a temporary thing. These people will mean nothing to me at some point, and they didn't.
I know, and the book is great because I've read it. It's fantastic. I can hear you talking to me all the way through it. Can I just tell you how happy I am today?
Toast.
How happy I am. Look who I'm beside. This is the best Christmas ever.
Well, I didn't like to say, but you have a rider, and this was on the rider.
It was.
I love that. I want to come in if we end up like this.
Was the wine on the rider too?
Yes, yeah.
Very much so.
There's a trailer full of it outside as well.
Okay. I wonder what that was.
Yeah, exactly. It's the rains.
Nice.
Go
Just
home
for me.
bit.
Just for me.
But look, we've got here. This is how to do the little fondue. So we've got our cheese going in here, and then we're basically going to serve this with the potatoes. But I'm going to get onto this cheese in a minute because we can take the bread out. Okay. There you go. Because this is what you're going to love. You're going to love this. So we just gradually melt this cheese. This is ace. And I wanted to do this because this is a little homage to my childhood as well, because we're talking about Southampton, Scotland, particularly Wales. This is a little bit of homeland for me because this reminds me so much of me being at home, because you take bread and we take this chutney. This is the kind of stuff that you want on tour, isn't it, Craig? You see, when you're travelling around, this is tour food.
Have you got any extra butter you could put on there? Just set the tone for me.
This is proper tour food.
This is proper tour stuff.
What's
You know what I
fascinating
mean?
is what we were talking earlier about the music business, and you used to listen to this chap over here.
Yeah.
Gives you inspiration, was it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the longevity of the music game, that's the tricky one, isn't it, really?
Well, I think it is, you know, when you've got a fan base or people who will follow you and are supportive, you know, and I've been blessed to have that, whether that's them coming to see me in musical theatre or coming to see me, you know, doing my what I call my day job.
Yeah.
You know, but they just, as you grow as a musician, as a songwriter, you want to bring them with you and challenge yourself.
But we talk about that as, you know, yours was stratospheric, a bit like yourself, your career early on. Is the pressure really on when you bring out an album like what you brought out?
Well, hopefully...
Back then, the 80s, I mean, it was just...
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're talking selling 500,000 before it even came out in the first week. But everything's different now because everybody accesses the music in a different way.
Yeah.
So I don't feel pressure. You make music and hopefully for yourself and hopefully other people will tap into that.
Totally.
If they enjoyed the body of work you've done over the past, whatever, 4 decades.
Because it's almost gone round circle again, because it used to be it was all about the record sales.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of touring as well, because you're about to hit the road and tour as well.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's the feeling that the music gives you. You always remember where you were, who you were with, what you were doing.
You do.
That's why, you're talking about timeless, but we were saying like earlier, about 25 years since I released my first album, which feels like only yesterday. When you go out and perform those songs, that's why the tours it's important for me to land those songs and sing them in the way that people want to hear them.
There you go.
Because they want to hear that note. They want to hear the ad-lib that you do on the album. And even if you want to sing loads of new things, you just know the time and place for it. But make sure you do what's on the ticket, give the people the hits, give them what they came to hear.
It's about entertaining. Entertaining, no educating. And that's the
I'm guessing that's the ultimate for you. Cheese, toast.
Cheese.
We call this multitasking, don't we?
Well, watch up, man.
That's fine.
Be careful and burn up your hands,
A little bit longer.
Just be
A
careful.
little bit longer.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Burn up them hands.
Yeah.
Smells amazing.
But I suppose...
I'm on high alert now. High alert.
It's hilarious to see. Like. But I suppose this is what you do it for, isn't it? Really? You're doing it. The ultimate, I suppose, pinch yourself moment must be for a musical performers to go out there and people singing along, like the O2, singing along to one of your songs. This is just amazing.
Unbelievable. I remember, like, it was only a few months back that I was doing a performance and Sting was actually doing a performance later on. He was headlining the performance. And he'd gone to the dressing room while I was performing because he thought I was gonna be there. And I got this call on the walkie-talkie as I came back off stage of Sting's waiting for you at the dressing room. And I had to say, waiting is the first word.
Waiting.
Certain people you're not waiting at any dressing room. I need to run back. But when we ran back and we had this embrace, and it's just a moment when you look at someone who's been in the industry for such a long time and created such hits that have touched people's hearts, and to see the place that he's in, it just inspires me as well when I look at someone like, you know what? This is about creating those memories and making sure people always, if there's any legacy, leave that you left the place a better place than you came into it.
We've got to talk about music. Do you miss the West End, or is that's kind of the stuff that you...
I mean, I love my time there, and maybe I'll go back and do it again, but it's just the closest thing to a real job that I've ever done.
It was such a big part of your life.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and listen, films are even longer hours, but there's a magic to live.
Oh, I love it.
Live
Amazing
love it.
for you to go from monologue to a song. I just feel like that's an incredible skill set to be able to be saying something and then hit the note straight off the bat. Whereas with music, it's a show. Like you're already in key. You already know what you're doing. But to go from like a talking monologue to say something and then bang straight into the notes.
It's called multitasking, Craig.
It really is.
This one.
That's a little bit busted.
What's up, burning toast?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, no.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay.
Look at that. Right. Just check this out.
All of this. It's amazing.
Look at this.
Oh, my God, you put them on deep, eh?
Be careful, man. They'll be burning up them hands. I tell you.
Man, they're nuclear.
Watch your hands.
Watch your handies.
Oh, we've got to put them, boss.
On there. On there.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
So you make it look easy.
What do you mean that makes it look easy?
Wow. Asbestos fingers.
Oh, mate.
You're right there.
No, I don't not trust myself. Here we go.
This is just like Christmas at everybody else's house, isn't it? It's the same, isn't it? Now, I was thinking about bringing this over to you, but you can come over here. So come on over here.
Absolutely.
Dive into this. Bring your nicest photos. There you go.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Dive in, dive in, dive in, dive in.
Yum, 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 yum.
You've done all the work.
Go for it, Lorraine. Go for it.
Amazing.
I'm going to end up here.
Go, you go.
Now, let's dive in. There's plenty more cooking to come on ITV1 today. It's Ainsley Harriott here to tell us what's on the menu for him this Christmas.
Merry Christmas, James. I see you're having a fantastic time with your guests, but come and join me a little bit later. What have we got on my show? Fabulous guest and some great food. Brian Connolly's here. Catherine Ryan's here. Rosemary Schrager will be doing a little bit of cooking, and we have the most sensational voice from Carly Powley. Wow. 2 o'clock, ITV.
Cheers, Ainsley. Have a great Christmas, mate. Ainsley will be here straight after the show. That's all we've got time for today. You're enjoying that, are you?
Oh, that's so good.
Now, before we go,
just taste this. This is Marti Pellow's cheese on toast. Lorraine.
It's so good.
yeah, look at all the work that he did on that.
I mean, amazing.
We're still going to be working in a minute as well, but that's all we've got time for today. A massive thank you to all my guests. Richard Bertinet, Lisa Goodwin-Allen, Craig David, Luke Evans, Lorraine Kelly, and of course, Marti Pellow! Marti, you're going to be performing for us a minute, so grab yourself one final bit of cheese.
Go on,
and
Hill.
get ready to sing. There you go. There you have it. Marti Pellow, everybody! Enjoy the rest of Christmas Day. I'll see you back here on Saturday, the 28th of December, when I'll be joined by Paul Ainsworth, Pip Lacey, master mixologist Merlin Griffiths, pop legend Kim Wilde will be here, and top tenor Russell Watson. Right now, with a very special performance. You can say this. Off you go. You're good at presenting.
OK. With a very special performance of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, it is the one and only Marti Pellow.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a